Hello, everybody. This is John Maddox again. Hey, I think this is my fifth video now. Like I said, I want to tell everyone my secrets. And hey, before we get into today's discussion, which is how to do a 10-day week, I'm really amazed at how many people do not know what a 10-day week is. All right, I have to admit, I'm not in many different gyms. I'm just going based on the people I've been running into in the Royal Oak Gym, which I've been going to now since, man, how long has it been? 12 years, something like that. Going on 13. I think there's going to be 13 years this summer, or actually this upcoming fall will be 13 years that we've been training at the Royal Oak Gym. So we used to train in another gym, which is called Fitness Unlimited. Fitness Unlimited finally, fell to the economy and everything that happened after 2008. And most of the strength athletes came over to the Royal Oak Gym. Most of the people who were just there for the regular fitness stuff went and transitioned somewhere else. So every once in a while, we see some people from the old Fitness Unlimited days pop into the Royal Oak Gym, which is always nice. I just want to let people know that I do have my own platform, which is communityreviews.org. It's the only one-sided review platform in the world. And what makes that really cool is two people don't have to be members for you to review them. We do it based on commonly available information. So if you had a bad dating experience and you know the person's phone number or their dating channel name, you can make a post based on either or both. So we allow you to base it on a phone number, an email address, a brick and mortar address, however anyone operates online, doesn't matter. Or personal property, like license plate numbers. There's a car at the end of your street. It's been sitting there for months, right? And the windows are down and it's just raining inside the car and you want to report it somehow, go report on communityreviews.org. Hopefully someone will come and claim it. So with the 5-day week. So I came across this, and it's actually called 9/10-day week. And I think I came across it roughly around 1989. And we all, and when I say we all, it's me, it's Craig Terry, and the guys that Craig Terry and I would be training with throughout the years. So whoever it was who, would, show up at the gym and work out with us. Most of the people learned to do what we were doing back then. And the benefit of it is, say you like to train Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I notice there's some guys, they're trying to, in a 7-day week, they're trying to train 4 days out of that 7-day week. Well, go to a 10-day week, because we still do 4 workouts. We only train 3 days a week. That's what allows you to get to the 10 days, is one of your workouts is always going to go to the next week. And I know Mike Israetel was just out there, and it's funny because he's in a lot of these YouTube shorts, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I like the YouTube short format. And so he's out there saying you got to train at a minimum 4 days a week to gain muscle. And he says, well, I prefer 5 or 6. All right. And now I'm going to quote Mike Mentzer. All right. So what would Mike Mentzer say in a situation like that? If it wasn't for the steroids that they're taking, they would actually be losing body weight and they would not actually be getting better. All right. For the drug-free athlete, you should not be training that much. You are not going to get stronger. You are going to overtrain. And then Mike Israetel and his company, Renaissance Periodization, are going to turn around and say, hey, you got to take our shitty supplements. All right. The key is just don't overtrain. All right. So I'll give you an example of what the 10-day week looks like. So let's say Monday, and this is, remember, you're going to start, right? So whatever day, if it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday works best for you, or if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can figure that out, right? So let's say Monday's your squat day. All right. So on squat day, right, you're going to hit your heavy squats and you're going to do whatever your assistance is for squats. Like at one time I used to like to do leg curls and all that stuff, but now I like the glute ham. And I've really spent a lot of time working with the glute ham. And let's say, for example, you can't do your body weight on a glute ham. Well, you can take a rubber band, hold it over your shoulder and connect it to the back of the glute ham. So that way you're a little lighter, just like they have these assisted things for people to do pull-ups if you can't do pull-ups with your body weight. So there's a way to work it so that you can get that hamstring. To me, the glute ham works your hamstrings the best. All right. And I know who these idiots are out there trying to talk about these Bulgarian split squats. And then I was actually listening to this one guy He wants you to do a Bulgarian split squat to a negative position. So you're 1 foot. So you got one up on the bench and you're supposed to have one on the ground. Or he's saying the one that's supposed to be on the floor should also be elevated. So you're coming down even lower and then hold a dumbbell over your head. Who in the hell would ever want to do that? You're risking injury of just falling over when you could just use the glute ham machine. Or do one of my exercises that I've loved for years, all right, is set the pin at mid shin and do, I call them power stiff-legged deadlifts, all right, from mid shin. All right, I'm not someone who believes in doing a stiff-legged deadlift in a negative position, right? Meaning that you're going to elevate your feet, but not the weight, because you're never going to be in that type of position in a powerlifting meet. All right. So, but you will be in a powerlifting meet from mid shin. Trust me, it happens to a lot of us. And I also like to do my partial deadlifts from mid shins as well, because it teaches you that mid drive in the deadlift, right? So if your butt's coming up, all right, get in the freaking rack or get into the platforms, all right, and practice that mid shin, whether it's a stiff legged or whether it's pulling from the mid shin, because it's going to teach you that leg drive from off the ground to get it up above your knee. Had a lot of success with that for a lot of years. All right, so you squat, you're gonna do whatever your assistance is for your squat. All right, and your next workout, which is Wednesday, all right, Wednesday is your bench day. All right, so Wednesday you go in and you're gonna, whatever you do for bench, right, and whatever your assistance is for bench. All right, and I recommend that people cut out separate arm days. It's a waste of your time. All right, when you're already warmed up, that's the best time to hit something. All right, I don't care what anybody else says. As a drug-free athlete, you have to recuperate. All right, you can't be benching, right, and then benching again, and then also having a separate arm day. It's just a waste of time. When you're already warmed up, hit the bicep and hit the tricep. And like I said, I'm a big fan of doing things similar to Mike Mentzer, just one set. When you're already warmed up, you only need one set, right? And then obviously if you're hitting your rep goal, then you might want to go up a little bit. So, and maybe do another one. So, and then Friday comes along, and guess what? It's deadlift day. All right. And then I used to always do afterwards, I would do like maybe pause squats, back then. Now I'm a big proponent of the box squat. So I don't box squat as heavy as I did for a while. Now I do them more just for form. I still go up to 4 plates with them. All right. And then I'll go, if I go up to 500 for my next set, that will be a regular squat. All right. So, but I'll go up to 4 plates with my box, and then I'll go up above that with all my sets with, out the box. All right. And then when I got to the point where I can't do those, then I'll do some half squats. Right. And then before I leave, I'll do a negative. All right. And just understand, if you do negatives, you have to set the pins where you're going to bring that bar down to, or you're either going to get hurt or you're going to damage the equipment. All right. So when you do a negative, you have to be very concerned about where the pins are. All right. The negative is just as important as the positive. And I swear, if someone would just do a video how to properly use a power rack, they could probably get 10 million views on that video. All right. So then we got one more workout coming, right? So there's 4 workouts when you're doing a 10-day week. So we just went through the first 3, right? So Monday was squats, Wednesday was your bench, right? Friday is your deadlift plus whatever squat assisted stuff you want to do. And then Monday comes around, and guess what? It's another upper body workout. So if you want to bench again, or maybe you do close grips that day, or maybe that's the day you concentrate more on your shoulder pressing or overhead pressing. It's up to you, right? To me, from my experience, you're pressing because you don't walk, most people don't walk on their hands all the time, but people don't understand your lower body is designed to move around. And a lot of times, especially if you got a job where you're out and about all the time, all day, or you got to stand all day, your legs, just from normal activity, obviously are going to get taxed as well. But your upper body doesn't really have that happening to it. So your upper body can get away with a little more work as long as you don't go crazy, right? And then guess what happens? Now we're to Wednesday again. And Wednesday, we're doing heavy squats again. So one of the other things that's really cool with doing the 10-day week is no day is ever going to be the same workout. So if Monday is your worst day because that's the day, who knows, right? Maybe that's the day you have to travel, right? So that's usually the day you're getting back late. you don't have to worry about your squat always being impacted because you rotate the workouts. So so now we're back Wednesday squatting. Then Friday's going to be your upper body again. And I think you guys are understanding. You just keep you're working out 3 days a week only, but you got 4 workouts and you just keep going. All right. And the other thing I want to stress to people is you need to take time off. I don't care. And it's interesting to hear Mike Mentzer, he refers to it as systematic. I'm sorry, not systematic, systemic overtraining. Yeah. So what happens just from your normal working out, right? At a certain point in time, you have to take time off. And so I have just, when I used to do the 10-day weeks, after 3 10-day weeks, which was roughly 1 month, I would take a week off. All right. Now that I've combined them to where I'm doing upper body, lower body, and I'll get into that next week and how I set that up. Now I go 4 weeks, right? Because I'm doing 7-day weeks because I'm only training twice a week, right? I'm getting 7 days in between. So after 4 weeks, it's the same amount of time, 3 10-day weeks or 4 7-day weeks. It's about the same amount of time. And then I take a week off. Your body needs the time to heal. All right. This cumulative effect of lifting your body and your mind. For me, it's mainly my mind. My mind needs to break. And by the time that week is over, I am hungry to come back in there and tear the weights up again. I know. And when I say that to people are like, no, what are you talking about? You're never supposed to stop training. You're going to lose you're not. All right. And your body will tell you, because there's times when I'll come back. I've missed 2 weeks and come back stronger. All right. So technically it's 3 weeks in between workouts and I come back stronger. All right. As long as you got to understand, you can't take your meals off, only the lifting. So when you're taking a week off, you still have to eat the 4 times a week. All right. So yeah, you don't want to lose body weight. You lose body weight, your lifts are going to go down. All right. So I pretty much, even though I eat as much food as I do every day, that's the hardest part of my training is eating, because I got to plan it out every single day. It's not planning to hit 2 workouts during the week. The meals are 7 days a week, and I got to make sure I have access to all that food and everything that I want to eat. And that's the toughest part. And when you're eating 2 steaks a day, trust me, that adds up. I think right now with the pricing of meat, it's like 12 grand a year just for the meat. And that doesn't count everything else. Like I said, I'm eating 5 eggs for breakfast. I'm eating bacon with breakfast, right? I usually have a banana with breakfast and a little bit of cheese. And I usually take pretty much all my vitamins at that point in time. And I take an aspirin. I want to stress that to people. All right. When you work out, your muscles get inflamed, and anything to help with the inflammation process is going to help you recuperate faster without taking steroids. So aspirin. All right. And then if you got an injury, you can take it again with dinner. All right. But I'm not a doctor. All right. I'm going to stress that again. I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, aspirin works, gets the inflammation out of your body. It helps you with your joints. And the other big thing is be hydrated. All right. And my chiropractor really pushed this on me, Matt Zwang, when I started seeing him. And I used to drink a lot of pop and coffee. And I was thinking pop, I'm getting calories from the pop on top of what I'm eating. But actually, all that sugar was dehydrating me. And so when I actually gave up drinking pop, I gained 5 pounds from not being dehydrated. So make sure you're getting electrolytes. I salt my breakfast to help with electrolytes. I drink electrolyte water. I still have a pop, maybe once a day. To me, I feel that if I have a little bit of a cheat, then I don't need a whole cheat day, right? Like you said, if I have some cookies, I don't feel bad about it. All right. So, but make sure you're getting all your food. Make sure you get all your meals. It's the hardest part. If you really want to become a top level strength athlete, all right, it's going to take you 10 years to get there. That's normally what it takes. And it's not missing meals. It's not overtraining, and it's trying not to get injured. I've had so many injuries. If I laid out every single issue I've had to deal with, I could put a whole video together and it would be over an hour of all the injuries I've had to work through. All right. So, but some of them were from just being dehydrated. All right. So I actually make sure I drink 2 things of water, 2 bottles of water as I eat my breakfast and take my supplements in the morning, like 2 hours before I go to the gym, so that I know I'm hydrated. And by me doing that, it's almost got rid of all my miscellaneous injuries I used to get. All right. And my joints don't ache anymore. All right. If you're dehydrated, your joints are going to ache. First thing I noticed when I got hydrated is my elbow didn't hurt anymore. All right. It was just so noticeable of your body being hydrated versus not being hydrated and the impact on your health. So hopefully people understand how this 10-day week works. All right. And what you're going to notice, dude, is when you break that time out between your squat and your deadlift, you're going to be able to recuperate faster. All right. You're going to overtrain less and you're going to see the weights go up faster. Right. And that's the reason why you're doing this. You're not doing this to overtrain and get frustrated with yourself. You're doing all this work because you want to get better and you want to get stronger. It's not that people don't have, right, the drive and the ambition to get stronger. But what happens is sometimes that drive and ambition, people overlook the fact that they're doing too much. And that's one of the things I'm going to stress to you as we move forward with all these videos that I'm putting out here. I'm going to teach you, do not overtrain. It is a waste of time. And another terminology I used to use is to intelligently undertrain, right? Your goal, and that's why I just push. People don't understand your body can adapt, right? And it is really good at adapting. And why I've learned to develop how I train is because I got to force my body, right, to be shocked so that it can grow and get stronger. If I did the same thing, all right, my body will adapt to it. That's why I don't like to do these long cycling up to a meet, right, where you start off at X%, then next week you do this percent. Your body adapts to that very quickly. And it catches you, right? It tricks you because the first time you do it, your body's not used to it and you get a great result. And then you find out when you try to repeat it that that great result diminishes because your body adapts. So when I do, the reason why I learned to train similar to Mike Mentzer is because that stress, that force that I do, right, and to push it as hard as I do and to do it quickly and then to back off allows me to push myself where my body can adapt and I can actually get stronger. All right. And then I make sure I recuperate. So hit it hard, right? Don't do a zillion sets. You don't have to do a zillion sets. All right. The reason why you're not getting strong, you're overtraining because you're doing too many sets. Right. And don't let anyone sell you a bunch of shitty supplements. All right. The reason why creatine works, it helps you to, to gain some more fluid around your muscles. It gives you leverage. Right. And why do you gain weight? Why are the strongest men in the world? Why are they big, heavy guys? Because that body weight helps with leverage. Right. So remember, if you want to get stronger, Larry Pacifico, go back to the old school. Right. If you want to get stronger, what did Larry Pacifico say? Gain weight. All right. So anyways, I hope this discussion, and like I said, we're going to talk more about this as we move forward, but hopefully this helps you to understand that training is a lot easier than what you think. All right. If you don't overtrain, it becomes a lot more fun when you see yourself getting stronger and you're doing it much faster. Anyways, thanks everybody. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.